Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this week's press conference. I hope you're all doing well, and today we have two topics to talk about. The first one is the Erie Police Department recruitment plan, and the second is an important reminder for the upcoming code enforcement sweeps and the city's largest pickup program. First, the primary focus of today's press conference is on this year's recruitment for the Erie Police Department. The next couple of months are the very important time for anyone interested in becoming an Erie police officer. Now, more than ever, we need officers who are ready to serve our community as the next generation of law enforcement here in Erie. Joining me now is Lieutenant Tom Lennox, who leads the City of Erie's Police Department recruitment efforts. He will explain the requirements of becoming an Erie police officer and our recruitments. Officer Lennox, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. Welcome to the 2025 recruiting cycle. Here we are again this year. Just a brief overview before I get into the specifics of the test. I just want to advise the public that the applications are now available online and will continue to be accepted with the deadline being June 27th of 2025. There will be an $80 application fee for anybody that's interested in becoming a police officer that will be required to send in with your application. Applications can be found at go.mercyhurst.edu/register/NWPAR-PTC. With regards to the dates, the test itself will be August 2nd of 2025 at Northeast High School. For the physical agility test, if you pass the physical agility test, you will be invited that same day to take the written exam, which will be held at Mercyhurst Northeast Police Academy. Before we get into that, I do want to start off by saying that, although we are in a recruiting cycle, we are always out there actively looking for the right fit from within our department, specifically Erie Police Department. But just to give you a little bit of history lesson, we're always out into the community looking for individuals that are more reflective to serve on our department and more reflective to the city and the community that it's serving. And with that being said, since 2021, we've hired 62 officers, with 17 or 27% of those being minorities throughout our community, with 6 of those being African-American males, 6 females, 3 Hispanics, and currently 2 Bosnian males that we have hired from within our department. So although we always strive to bring diversity on our department, at the end of the day, we are always out there looking for the right individual. So more to come with that. With that being said, I just want to give a little brief overview why it would be beneficial specifically to work for the City of Erie Police Department. I've been here for 20 years, and the one thing that I can really attest to and that I'm very proud of are the opportunities that each officer that's hired will have opportunities throughout their career as it relates to professional development. And there's a lot of options if earned and you work hard in the patrol division. There are a lot of opportunities to be promoted, not only in patrol, but through various divisions that we have to offer throughout our department. For example, all new hires, when they first get hired, they will start off in the patrol division. And with some time on, after they go through a rigorous training program with our department, they are immediately released with another senior officer. We'll work with that officer for approximately a year and until the day have proven to our department that they're capable of being on their own and being out into the community to serve our citizens on an individual basis. So as that development happens through our patrol division, each officer will have an opportunity to branch off in patrol division and apply for units, newly installed units such as the Crisis Intervention Unit, Mental Health Family Crisis Unit, the Quebec Unit, Warrant Officer, the Motorcycle Division, Traffic Investigation, Parking Enforcement, Abandoned Vehicles, our neighborhood action team, our SAT unit, and now excited about the newly K-9 unit that this city is going to offer our citizens that will be basically active to the public within the next month or so. So really excited about that. And we also, and this is, not that it's a secret to the public, but also our patrol officers do have an opportunity to work with many different type of federal agencies on our joint task force when we all come together as a county, to work on maybe some of the initiatives. So as you can see in the patrol division, you're never bored. There's always room for growth in the patrol division. And so that's an opportunity there. After spending a little bit of time in patrol, there's other opportunities that our police officers could bid into a job or interview or get promoted. For example, we have a lot of officers that have a lot of interest in our criminal investigation division. Everybody wants to be a detective. But in our criminal investigation division, most people think, hey, I just want to be a detective, without understanding that, there are a lot of layers in our criminal investigation division, such as major crimes, burglary, white-collar crimes, juvenile unit, sex crimes, cold case investigator, insurance fraud, auto theft unit, our vice unit, drug and narcotic, our Eagle task force, our crime scene and our property division, and now most recently in the last few years, our newly added criminal intelligence division. There's also opportunities for a newly hired officer that gets hired within our department to bid in, train, earn, or to get on more of our specialized units, such as our bomb squad, our hostage negotiation team, and also our SWAT team. So as you can see, Erie Police Department does have a lot of benefits and opportunities for any individual that's interested in becoming a police officer here at the city. With that being said, I just want to, just a quick reminder, again, those applications are online. They have been since Monday, April 7th, and the deadline to have those applications in will be June 27th of 2025. And the reason why I'm saying that multiple times, because it's very important, the sooner that you get that application in, the sooner that you're going to get that study guide to help you prepare for that written exam on August 2nd out at Mercyhurst Police Academy. Now, the one thing that I do want to cover, because myself and my recruiting team, we deal with this every year, that with regards to the physical agility, if you're a prospective candidate that is watching this right now, or if you get the information which is available on our recruitment website on the City of Erie Police, all right, you'll find that there are 5 exercises that you have to be prepared for the day that you show up to take this test. Now, if you wait till July, mid-July or at the end of the July, you are not going to be prepared for the physical agility. So I'm really going to put emphasis on start training now and make sure that you are physically ready to take this exam. So the day that you show up for the physical agility, or for your test on August 2nd, your physical agility is going to require you to run a 300-meter sprint, which the time limit for that is 1 minute and 6 seconds. The next component of the physical agility test is sit-ups. You got to do you got to do 30 sit-ups in a row, no time limit. You got to do 25 push-ups, again, 25 reps, no time limit. You just got to do 25 straight without stopping. Our vertical jump component, and I'm just going to say this, that typically is an exercise or a component of the physical agility that most people don't come prepared for. And what I would encourage the potential applicants to do is to start practicing that vertical jump, because what that is the day that you show up, whatever your highest reach is, the tip of your fingertip, you got to jump 15 and a half inches beyond that to pass that component of the physical agility test. And again, I'm just going to put it out there that for our female candidates, that typically is a major hang-up for a lot of our female applicants that have been taking this test. And if I'm being fair for the men, sit-ups is usually the component of the physical agility that eliminates some of our men. So I guess the message is please come prepared the day of that police test to make sure that you can pass the physical requirements. The last component of the physical agility is you've got to do a mile and a half in 15 minutes and 54 seconds, okay? Now, that sounds pretty easy. And for most of us police officers, it really is pretty easy. But again, I just want to remind the public, although that time sounds like a lot of time, we've experienced a lot of cadets or candidates, potential candidates, that will show up on test day, and that 15 and 54 seconds seems a lot further than what they thought in their mind. So again, I would encourage everybody to start training now to get ready for the physical agility component of the test. Now, in conclusion, if anybody in the public that's watching this press conference, if you want to sit down with me one-on-one or any of my recruiting staff who's sitting there in the back, please contact me at T-Lenox, T-L-E-N-O-X, @erie.pa.us. And if you send me an email, myself and my team will sit down and give you more specific details of the benefits and the opportunities to work here for the City of Erie Police Department. Last thing I want to cover is typically what I run into every year is most cadets will ask, they think it's just get your application in. As soon as EPD, after I pass the physical and written exam, they're going to automatically hire us by going through the process. That process is not done. In the state of Pennsylvania, all police officers are required to get their Act 120 certification, and the only way to get that Act 120 certification to be certified in the state of Pennsylvania to be a police officer is by getting that Act 120 through Mercyhurst Northeast Police Academy. And without further ado, we're lucky today, we actually have the Mercyhurst Northeast Police Academy Director to come up here and speak briefly on what that process is. But in conclusion, if anybody has any questions with regards for recruitment as it relates to the Erie Police Department, please get a hold of me and send me an email. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Academy Director William Hell to come up and give those Academy requirements. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Lennox. Mr. Mayor, thanks for having me here today. I want to stress that testing to the Police Academy is kind of a divorced process from what Lieutenant Lennox was talking about. We offer 2 sessions a year, 949 hours, which works out to about 6 months each. These sessions begin with what we call information sessions, where we go over the application process to the Police Academy. It is there's a lot of steps to it. It takes a lot of time, and currently we're recruiting for Class 126, which begins, I call it the July class. Excuse me. This one kicks off the 30th of June. You can find the QR code, I believe, is on your screen for our website, and what the remaining session dates are. It's important you get to that one of those information sessions because it's a pretty lengthy process to apply to the academy. There's a lot of steps the applicant has to take to get there, physical, psychological. There's a testing process to get in as well. So we are currently recruiting for that class. And like you said, it's typical that you're a graduate of the academy before you'll get a chance to become an Erie police officer. So my encouragement to everybody is to, if this looks like it's in your vision that you're interested in doing, you can contact us. Our website is once again on the screen with the QR code. Hit that, and that'll lead you to the application process for the academy. So I'm here to encourage that process, and hope to see all those interested soon come to this class. All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. The last thing that I wanted to say as I was sitting there listening to Mr. Hill speak on that, in conclusion, basically, if you are a candidate that's sitting at home wondering, can I do this job? Do you have the ability every day in and day out, to go out and work and help people in your community? If that's in your heart and in your soul now, that you're thinking about becoming a police officer, don't wait years to decide, well, maybe I could have been, or I should have been. If you have any questions as to whether or not something can wake up within you to come and see if you have what it takes to do this job, we also have a ride-along program that I encourage any citizen, anybody that has any interest, to get a hold of me and my recruiting team, and we would set you up with a ride-along to ride with a senior patrol officer to patrol in the community to see if this is something that you could do on a daily basis for the next 25, 30 years. And again, if you're looking for a challenge to where 2 days don't look the same, you like, to do a lot of different things, such as, hey, I want to be a counselor, or I want to go out and enforce the law, or I want to become part and one with the community by joining community policing divisions that we offer up within our department. This would be the job for you. And this is a personal message to our ladies. Out of almost a 200 complement department, 193 to be specific, we only have 8 females on this job. So I challenge, our females in our community to, if there's something in you that's saying, hey, I think I can do this job, challenge yourself and go through the process and take this test, come do these ride-alongs and prove to yourself that you can be an effective police officer from within our community. So thank you for your time and have a good day, and I'll be seeing you within the next few months.
Thank you very much, Lieutenant Lennox. That was a great presentation. Also, Officer Hale, thank you very much for all you do. And I've been at your ceremonies a couple times with people graduating, so I look forward to that as well, too. And I appreciate the efforts to recruit the best candidates possible to build our Erie Police Department. Chief Dan Spizzarni and his leadership team are doing an excellent job making Erie a safe place to live, work, play, and raise a family. I especially want to thank all the men and women who serve in our Erie Police Department. Day in and day out, they put their lives on the line to protect and serve our residents and our visitors. This is a different department than it was 8 years ago. Thanks to grant funding, we have been able to acquire state-of-the-art equipment, deploy innovative technology, expand community policing initiatives, and reinstate critically important units. This has transformed the department and added exciting opportunities for those who are called to serve. If you are interested, I invite you to contact Lieutenant Tom Lennox and learn more about it. Next, we have been working hard to achieve our vision that we set for Erie in 2018. A critical part of this vision is making sure that residents have access to welcoming and vibrant neighborhoods that are clean, safe, free of debris, and other hazards that can accelerate neighborhood declines. Now that we have entered the spring season, I again want to remind every resident about the code enforcement sweeps that we first announced back in March. These will begin on April 17th with the goal of setting our neighborhoods and getting them cleaned up. Here to talk more about this is Chris Groner. He's our Director of the Office of Development Services, who supervises our Bureau of Code Enforcement. Chris, the floor is now yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Morning, everyone. I'd like to just give a brief reminder and update on the upcoming code enforcement activities. As we mentioned in March, starting this month, the city's code enforcement office will be conducting targeted inspections in specific zones throughout the city. The goal of these efforts will be to reduce and eliminate hazardous and unsightly junk and debris. And we urge property owners to take responsibility for cleaning up their properties by removing large items, junk and debris, and trash from their property. All of the city's property inspectors will be sweeping one area in a coordinated effort, viewing every street and property in that specific zone. And as was just mentioned, this will begin next week, Thursday, April 17th, in the area that's shown on the far map, an area that encompasses East 12th Street to the north, East 26th Street to the south, Parade Street east to McKinley Avenue. Each zone is expected to take about 1 week, and if a property is determined to have excessive junk and debris, the owner will be given a courtesy notice, which will look like this. This is a legal notice. Once you've been given this notice, you will have 14 days to remove that excessive junk and debris. Property inspectors will be returning to the same zone after 14 days to reinspect the area. If the junk and debris still exists, the property owner will be cited. That will result in additional fees and potentially liens on the property. If the city is forced to clean the property, an abatement fee will be charged to the property owner. The abatement fees will begin at a minimum of $1,400, $1,401.27 to be exact. This cleanup cost will be attached to the property owner's water, sewer, and garbage bills. Additionally, multi-unit property owners may see their rental registration license renewals decline for failure to clean up their properties or to satisfy this abatement fee. The rental registration ordinance has recently been changed to now include any outstanding fees and liens as a disqualifier for license renewal. Simply put, if the city has to clean up a property, a rental property, and is forced to place a lien on that property to recover costs, the rental license will be denied until all of those fees and liens are paid in full. A disproportionate amount of necessary cleanup efforts originate from rental properties. These specific responsibilities for cleaning and maintaining rental units are between landlords and tenants, and although they vary with each individual lease, they are not the responsibilities of the taxpayer. Again, most owners are responsible and maintain their properties, but a small number are not. And the ones who are not taking care of their properties affect all residents in a very negative way. This is not right, and that is why we will be strongly encouraging owners to correct these issues and to maintain the required standards pertaining to housing, building, and health standards. We want to work with property owners, and we urge them to be proactive. The city offers large item pickup. You can request up to 3 large items to be picked up each week, but you must call the refuse department to coordinate. The number for that service, the number to call for that service is 814-870-1550. There you'll be given details about this service, and you can call between 8:30 and 4:30, and you have to call 72 hours in advance of your regular refuse pickup night. I urge all residents, property owners, landlords, and tenants to pitch in and do what is right and to help with this effort. And I want to thank in advance the code enforcement team, Public Works, and the refuse department for assisting with this coordinated effort. And I hope we can all pitch in and make this cleanup a success. And with that, I will turn it back over to the mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. We really appreciate your work on this, and I'm very grateful for the collaboration between the Bureau of Code Enforcement, the Bureau of Refuse, and the Department of Public Works. Together, I know we can ensure that all residents will have access to beautiful neighborhoods free of litter, junk, or any kind of debris. And that concludes this week's press conference. Please follow us on social media for the latest updates on everything happening here in the city of Erie. Thanks very much for watching today, and everyone who spoke is now available for interviews as well. Thank you very much.